No, my record button is. Okay, finally. Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to another session with the Black Belts. Today, we have one of our own very Black Belts from Côte d'Ivoire, Mrs. Vanessa Sesi. She's a veteran educator with over 26 years of professional. She works with clients and partners across Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia. She organizes trainings and facilitates seminars in various management subjects and leaderships to students of a variety of backgrounds. She's a fellow of the Learning and Performance Institute UK. That's why she has the LPI next to her name. She is also a black belt. So we are delighted and honored to have you with us.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so very much for this. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Go.
Yes. Yeah, it's always a joy to be with you, honestly. I really want to appreciate the 1 million teachers. It has given me a good opportunity. I would say good. I should say great opportunity to interact with a lot of people. And I will say thanks to Madam Fatima. I always used to say thanks to Madam Fatima, but because she doesn't know, there was a time I wanted to leave the program, and she was like, "You dare not go anywhere." So I really I really appreciate everyone, and I'm grateful to God Most High for giving this opportunity. All right, like I said on our platform, if those of us who have access to the platform, I want to approach this session like an inductive section. Yes, we have a PowerPoint to guide us, but we're going to have like an interactive moment. I know the time is not in our favor, but we will use the chat room to really discuss a lot. Tonight, I'm looking at what it means to be an authentic teacher, and I'm using the word being an authentic teacher. And for those of us who look at the subject being, is something that resonates with continuity. So I asked some questions on the platform. Those of you will remember the questions. And I asked that we should be thinking about those questions. And we're going to discuss some of the questions as well. And then you will go back home and reflect on the section. And in so reflecting, you're going to try to answer these questions for yourself so that by the end of knowing what it means to be authentic, we will be able to continue with our progress being authentic. So tonight I want to share with you on being an authentic leader, sorry, teacher. Yes, you are leaders actually. So, but tonight precisely is being an authentic teacher. I want to ask you, when you hear the word "who am I," what comes to mind? While we're trying to give ourselves a definition of what it means to be an authentic teacher, can I have the slides, please? What it means to be an authentic teacher. Can you just while we are where we're waiting to have the slides to I think there is a noise in someone's back. Thank you very much. While we're waiting for the slides to come forward, I want to ask you this question. When you hear the "Who am I?" How would you respond to that question? Who am I? Can 5 to 6 people just say briefly in the chat, "Who am I?" Just tell me, who are you? While we're waiting for the slides. Yes. I'm really ready to start reading. Yes. Who am I? That question, who am I? Can someone start responding? Who am I? Yes. My people, are you there? Yes, who am I? Who wants to start responding to that? Mm-hmm. Who am I? Who am I? Prince, do you want to speak? It looks like I don't know what is happening to the chat. So let's see who. Yes, someone said I'm a lover of learning and gift to the world. Yes, I want to read again. Yes, I'm a lover of learning and a gift to the world. Who am I? Yes. Who again? Mm-hmm. Who am I? Who am I? Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm trying to see more of the responses. Yes. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Can I have the slides, please, so that while we are waiting for others to respond, we can start the discussion. Being authentic as a teacher. Being authentic as a teacher. Yes. Who am I? Mm-hmm. If you're in a place that you cannot write, okay, let me see. Who wants to just, yeah, Mariam Suleiman. Yes. What do you want to say if you want to respond to the question, who am I? Mm-hmm. Yeah, someone said I'm a teacher with a loving heart. All right. Okay. I'm a teacher with a loving heart. Good. Mm-hmm. What else again?
Hello,
Who am I? Yes,
hello, good
sir.
evening,
Yes.
everyone. Okay, being authentic and who am I believe number one as a teacher, you just have to just
Pardon? Who am I? All right. Mariam says that I am a passionate person driven by my love for teaching and learning. Okay. Babajide says that I remain positive in spite of the challenges I might face, and on and on. Can I have the slide so that we can start? All right. It's very interesting to know that in responding to that question, who am I? Most of the time, all of you are responding to the question relating to teaching. It's like you're relating the response to who am I, to you being in the profession as a teacher. Now, to be authentic, let's start off by being authentic. And in the world that we find ourselves in, with social media, etc. There is that deep pressure to be what you are not. So when you ask yourself, to be authentic, you are saying, in other words, you have to be true to your values. You have to be true to your code of conduct. You have to be true to what you believe is the thing to do. You have to be true to your goals. All right. You don't live your life in the shadow of somebody else. So when we speak of being authentic as a teacher, it's not something we can fully exhaust in an hour session. But I hope and I pray that you will get some insights that will provoke what I call a thinking about what you think about moments in your life. You're going to go back into the classroom. You are challenged with students who have their own issues. You are challenged with children and students, youths in the community. Because as we learned in the last week's sessions, at the end of the day, your learning is not only relegated in the four walls of the classroom, you learn outside. As a teacher, you are in a community and you give back to the community, not just the children that you meet in your school, but you are affected and you affect the community in which you find yourself in. So when we speak of being authentic, we are talking about you being your true self, your exact person to the world that you are confronted or you are confronting in. And that is where it is a challenge, because when you are told to be authentic, the tendency to try to be what somebody else is high. But you see, you will never find that peace of mind, that joy you crave, that excitement that is needed if you are not true to who you are. So permit me to ask you this question again. Who am I? And when we speak of who am I, we are not talking about the fact of you being a teacher. That's just one aspect. Can I have the slide, please? I'm not seeing the slide. Okay, let me share the slides with, okay. Let me share the slides quickly with, okay. We are speaking about whom am I? And like I said, we are not talking about it in relation to you as a teacher, because let's face it, before you started teaching, you were a person. All right? You were a person. And let's also be honest. Some of us are teaching because we have to teach, and some of us are teaching because we are born to teach. In other way, we are teaching. Let's be honest. In other way, we are teaching, whether we are made teachers or we are born teachers or the circumstances push us to be teaching, we are teaching. And we, like never before, one of the challenge of teaching is to love what we are doing. Because the 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 future heroes and heroes of our world, the change makers, the solution providers, the problem solvers, the high-tech personality, the history makers, change makers are in front of you. How will their life be changed if you, the teacher, you're not directing them in the path they have to take? Now, you can lead someone to go somewhere when you yourself, you don't even know where you're going. You see, so when I was asked to share, I was very passionate, or I said I wanted to look at being authentic as a teacher because like never before, we need to be our true self. And when we speak of being authentic, we are not just speaking about what we had as our dream when we were young or what we had as that passion. No, we are talking about who am I right now. So authentic, being authentic, first of all, if we want to give ourselves a definition of being authentic, you're saying you want to be true to your moral values. You want to be true to what you believe is the right thing to do. We are talking about being honest. We are talking about being humble. We are talking about knowing where you are in your journey of life right now. So once again, you are welcome to being an authentic teacher. The title is Being an Authentic Teacher. So it's not a one-time scenario. It's something that is continuous. So at the end, you're going to be asked some questions. And what I would admonish you to do is write those questions down, get a nice notebook, and do a reflection moment. And ask yourself that question: who am I? Your personality is what we are talking about. Can we go to the next slide? Your personality is what we are talking about. Your profession is what we are talking about. Your passion is what we are talking about. Your personality is what we are talking about. Your purpose is what we are talking about. This is who am I? Like the slide says, educators are entrepreneurs. I took this from the 1 million teachers community. Ever since I saw this picture, it has been part and parcel of my life, this image. Because I realized that when we go into the classroom, we are looking at people who have a personality, who have a person, who have an attitude, who have a way of learning. These are people that we want to transform them from a seed into a mahogany tree to go out there and be solution providers. I love to use the word make it happen. There's some people that should go out there and make it happen. And you, as their teacher, wherever you find yourself, will be able to say, I'm glad to be a lyric in the music of this person. That is what it means that we as educators are entrepreneurs. So, what does it mean to be authentic? We are saying that you are authentic is living your best life. To be authentic, we are talking about living your best life according to your own rules, according to your own values, according to your goals, to your focus. The question is, what can you say to yourself that can guarantee that what you are doing is your own value, is your own moral, it's not something you've copied from somebody else? That is why you have to do this inductive study. Who am I? And when I asked all of you, yes, surprisingly, all of you, I think only one person kind of gave a response that looked at it from a 360 form. But most of us were looking at it from being a teacher. And I said that being a teacher is just one aspect of who you are. The next slide. So who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Like I said, we are looking at your person.
Careful. She
We are
now,
looking
is it
at
good?
your
But what consider nepa?
personality.
Don't show us
We are
okay
looking at your
One more
profession.
time, I'm sorry.
We are
Kí
looking
àǹfààní
at
tó mọ ikú
your
gbé náà náà
passion,
sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ rẹ̀?
your purpose, your potential.
Bó ṣe ń
When
sọ,
you're
ó ló
answering this question, who am
bẹ́yìn
I?
wọn.
You're responding as who you are as a person. How well do you know yourself as a person? This is not a philosophical class or a philosophical session or a psychology. No, this is down to earth simply. You as a person, how can you define yourself? How can you define yourself? How well do you know yourself in regards to your strength and your weakness? Yes, at the end of this, you will agree with me. You don't have to fake it to make it. There's no need faking it to make it. No, you have to be true to yourself. We are in that part of our time in our world whereby you need to be true to yourself. You need to be authentic. The world is full of fake things. The world is full of news that are frightening. Some news are just spread just to get popularity, just to get votes. And you are there as a teacher and you wonder how can you swim in this ocean of fake news, swim in this ocean of competition. Look, you should be honest with yourself. You should know say that these are the things I can take. These are the things I cannot take. Who are you as a person? What's your personality? Your profession, that is what your career path. How well do you know your life cycle when it comes to your career path? It's true, you are teaching. You are have you asked yourself where are you going to be in the next 5 years? Most of us may be teaching in the primary school. Will you find yourself teaching in the primary school all your life? Some are teaching in the secondary school. Are you going to be there all your life? Some are teaching in the tertiary level. Are you going to be there all your life? What's your future plans? What's your plan? Yes, you need to think of tomorrow today. Yes, you have to think globally while operating locally. You need to project your mind into tomorrow and prepare for tomorrow today. You have to make things happen for yourself first of all, because you cannot ask your students or your children to be change makers if you yourself are not a change maker. And you should fall in love with learning, unlearning, and relearning and continue learning, not just in the classroom, not just concerning your subject that you want to develop your expertise in, but you should be ready to learn other aspects. But yes, you have to be careful so that you don't envelop yourself in an information bank that you're not going to be using. All right. So know yourself as a person, know yourself as a personality, know your profession, and please have a passion for what we are doing. If you don't love what we are doing as a teacher, you will hate and it to become you have a mental breakdown, honestly. So you have to really stir up your passion. Now the question comes, how about those of us who entered teaching because we had to teach? There's unemployment, so we had to teach. You know, you can cultivate passion, you can stir passion, and you can have passion if you decide to have a passion for what you're doing. Purpose is something that you need to give yourself reason to wake up in the morning and be true to your reason. Go into the classroom and help your students. In fact, take that child from a place of knowledge to the place of the unknown and bring the child back. Be a mentor to your students, be a coach, even in the community. Be, look, we should all be involved in civic engagement. We should all go out there and see how we can help that street child. See how we can help that orphanage. See how we should find a way to come out of the classroom and be social entrepreneurs in such a way that you are giving life to people who don't really have that life, or you're giving purpose. All of us have a potential. You need to discover your potential. All right. So when I ask that question, who am I? I'm speaking about your personality. I'm speaking about your person. I'm speaking about your profession, your passion, your purpose, your potential. That is who you are. You can add other things because you're going to sit down and you have to develop that answer to that question. Because who am I is not just for where you're coming from, it's for today. And when we speak of today, we are speaking about where you find yourself today. Who are you today? Who do you want to be tomorrow? How do you want to plan to get there tomorrow? I hope I'm making some sense. I hope I'm making some sense. All right, let's go to the next slide. Who am I? Let's go to the next slide. I think, yes, I love this image that Prince Patrick brought up some couple of days back. So I stole it, if he doesn't mind. Okay, let's come to the next question. When we look at who am I, when you're able to discover you as a person, profession, you're answering yourself, where am I? Now, this is a question you have to say, okay, most times we don't want to talk about age, but you are defining yourself. You are intentional about your intentions. You are discovering this place where you are now. Where am I? In your life, with your dreams, with your inspirations, with your aspirations, with everything that makes you who you are, you're asking yourself, where am I? Where am I in the goals I set for this year? Where am I in my personal development? Look, we cannot be experts only by experience. Experience is true, is your best teacher, but you need to know what you know, and you need to know what you don't know. Those are things that will not come instantly. It's a process. Knowing or knowledge is growth. Knowledge is a process. So you always have to ask yourself this question: where am I? Because where am I is not just about location, it's also about position. Position in terms of your career path, position in terms of your personal life, position in terms of everything. Where are you? Because if, for instance, you give me a call on WhatsApp and you tell me that, okay, you want to come to Cote d'Ivoire, you want to visit Cote d'Ivoire, you're not just going to just come to Cote d'Ivoire. You precisely ask me, oh, Miss V, where in Cote d'Ivoire are you? Because when you know where I am, you won't come and go to Boaké in the north, or you won't come and go to Yopougon. You won't come and go to Yamoussoukro. You rather come to Abidjan. And when you come to Abidjan, precisely, you will look for where on earth is called Rivera Trois to locate where I am. So that is what position is. That's how I can explain position. Position is, yes, physically concerning your physical position, is spiritually, is mentally, is emotionally. So you're answering yourself, where am I in regards to this aspect of my life? Have I overcome the challenges that were confronting me? Am I mentally stronger than how I used to be before? What are the things you see? It is what you can measure, you manage. So if you don't know where you are, you don't know who you are, it's like you live your life comme si comme ça, like everything happens. No, everything happens for a purpose, and you need to also think about what is happening and be able to say to yourself that, okay, this thing that is happening, what did I do that I'm not supposed to do that made it happen? What was it I did well that I can do better to to improve? Because yes, when we speak of evaluating and measuring your performance, you want to look at what you did wrong. We are not only doing looking at what I did wrong, or what did I do wrong. Even in what you did right, you have to ask yourself, what did I do to do the right thing? Let's not forget, Old keys don't open new doors. So as long as you want to progress in your position, as long as you want to move forward, you need to be ready to try new things, because an old key will never open a new door. So yes, you need to be innovative. So precisely, where am I? What position precisely am I in? You have to answer that question. Why are you here? Now, in that school that you are teaching, do you know there is a purpose of all the schools you could find your world in, of all the schools you could be in? Why is it that school is where you are? I will never forget an incident in my life. Up to tomorrow, I can't understand why in 2014 I found myself in Kwara State. And when I found myself in Kwara State, I was with a family. At the end of the day, my going to Kwara State compelled the family to let their firstborn son come to Ghana to pursue his university education. And he was able to stay in Ghana successfully and return back to Kwara State doing exploits as we speak. Sometimes I ask myself, why on earth did I get displaced just because of one person? Sometimes you may find yourself in a classroom because of somebody's destiny, somebody's future. Somebody can only relate with you. I've had to teach in a nursery school before. I was a nursery superintendent in Ojota for just 3 months, and I realized that there was one baby girl who decided to come to school with her mother one day to show her mother myself. I have to congratulate all of you who are taking care of nursery school children, because honestly, it's a fantastic environment to be teaching those jewels, because you have to sit down to their level. Now, you are a nursery school teacher, okay? That's where you are. Why are you there as a nursery school teacher? Do you intend to be a nursery school teacher all your life? You know that you can always be active at the age of 20, 30, 40. By the time you reach 45 and you get to 50, you start saying, my back. So, what plans are you making for that side of your life? You see, that's why I said that this question is not a question you ask once in a year or once in a lifetime. These are progressive questions. It's like inductive questions. You answer at every point in your life. Why am I here? Why are you with 1 million teachers? Why are you doing what you are doing right now? Those are questions you need to ask yourself. Then there's this question is, where do I go from here? After 5 years, where do you go? What is your plan? Yes, it's not everybody who can japa. It's not everyone who can japa, and it's not everyone who has to japa, for crying out loud. If everybody has to be going, who is going to be in the country for you? Anyway, I'm not in Ghana, I'm in Cote d'Ivoire, so don't mind me. But then you need to ask yourself, where do I go from here? Have you asked yourself that question ever? Where do I go from here? What's your plan? What really is your aspirations? That child, that nursery school, that primary school, that junior high, that senior secondary, that tertiary school or university. You yourself, you know you're not always going to be 30 forever. You're not always going to be 40. I always say next year I'm going to strike 50. So so if you understand why I'm passionate about these questions, you can expect at least, where do you go? One of our black belts, she's Cynthia. She wrote something on her Facebook page one time, which was very, very interesting, admonishing everyone to think about their career path. You should not just only see yourself as a teacher, see yourself as a consultant, see yourself as a business, a strategist, because you are in the domain of education. Your experience over the years as a teacher can serve in defining policies in the country. So, where do you go from here, and how are you planning to get there? This is where you should ask yourself those questions. This is where I am now. What is my next plan? What is the knowledge you are building on to serve as a consultant at an international level? How are you preparing for that? Now we are engulfed with a lot of learning opportunities, conferences, seminars all around. How are you making efforts to be part of it? You see, there are some responsibilities that comes from the organization or the school you are teaching in. And there are some responsibilities that come from you yourself taking charge of your career path, taking charge of your professional life, taking charge of your personal life. You want to get married. Get married to who? All right. Get married to. You're not just married because you have to get married. No, you have to ask yourself the person you are getting married to, does the person share your vision? Is there a place that you can meet? Is there a place where you can agree to disagree? Can you help each other be the best version of themselves? So it's not just only about you. When we ask that question, who am I? You see what I'm saying? How do I get there? When do I start? Anything you want to do has a start, has an end. How do you start? When do you start? How do you know that you have arrived? I'll repeat this again. It is what you can measure. It is what you can measure, you can manage. Honestly. If I'm to ask you this question, what progress have you made in your life so far? Have you made any progress? It's not a question to 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 shade you. No, it's a question where I also ask myself. I love to use the statement, are you thinking about what you're thinking about? Because if you're thinking negative things, nothing positive will come out. And even if you're thinking of positive things, what are the positive things you are thinking about? Is it relevant to what you want to have experience in your life presently? You can be thinking about opening a restaurant. So you can have the desire to open a restaurant, and your thought is on a clothing line. That's what I'm saying. You can be thinking about improving your mental capacity or your expertise, working on your expertise in the domain, and what you're thinking on at that moment has no relevance to that. So that's why I love to use the word think about what you're thinking about. How have you reached? How have you reached? How do I know I have reached? If you set your goals initially and you're always asking yourself the what, the why, the where, the when, the why, the who on those around the goals you are setting, you'll be able to know whether you have reached or not. And if you have not reached, you'll be able to ask yourself, what were the steps you should have taken that you have not taken, which is preventing you from reaching your goals? Now, this last question, what would I be remembered for, is not for your deathbed, Tofiakwa. It's not your deathbed. Now that place you are in, you're going to leave. All right. You're not going to be in that school all your life. No, you have to progress. No, you cannot be a stagnant water. At the end of the day, a stagnant water breeds mosquitoes. So you have to tap yourself on the shoulder. I need to progress. You need to progress. You need to move on. You need to from a national level, you need to be known on an international level. If you're on an international level, you need to progress. There should be no stopping with you. Say that to yourself. There should be no stopping with you. That is the idea of life. You should not be stoppable. You should be unstoppable. You should be that person that makes things happen. Yes, there are some days that are gloomy. Let's call a spade a spade. There are some days that you just don't feel like going to stand in that classroom, but you have to go there. You need to encourage yourself. You need to motivate yourself. You are your personal hero. Let me be clear with you. But you need to tap yourself and say, where do I go from here in 5 years? You can't be in that place all your life. No. There should be progress in your life. You should see progress. If you need somebody to be your accountability partner, find somebody to be your accountability partner so that you always check on each other and ask yourself, have we made progress? Have we done what we said we are going to do? Okay, what is the innovation you are bringing in science, in maths, in English, in history, in geography, in sociology, in environment, in the community around you? Next slide. So these are the questions you're asking yourself on a daily basis, and it's not something that you can have an answer for immediately. It's something that you can have an answer for as you grow in life. So hold on to these questions. Who am I? Why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here? And what am I here for? Where do I go from here? How do I get there, etc.? Hold on to these questions. Get your notebooks. Sit down and add. You can say 3 or 4 times in a year. You ask yourself these questions and you have the answer to it. Now you can do it. We are in the month of August, so it's a strategic moment. You can ask this question so that at the end of December, you ask yourself, okay, all the answers, responses I gave to this question, have I seen any improvement? So it's like quarterly, you are checking daily, sorry, quarterly on your improvement. When you see yourself progressing forward, you'll be happy, honestly, because the world is not going to remain as it is. At least all of us are aware of it. There is a lot of hype and vibe on AI, whether we like it or not. All right. As much as we say as human beings, we are irreplaceable, my darling people. If you want to stay in the dark and say that you're not going to learn and understand what artificial intelligence is, you're going to realize that as a profession, those who know artificial intelligence will surely replace those who don't. We just have to find, even those of us heading on 50, we can't say that we won't want to learn something artificial intelligence. You just have to. You cannot be innovative in the classroom without preparing. That's the way forward. When we speak of the horse, by the way, this is my favorite image that I use in class to teach entrepreneurship, leadership, strategic management. And I want to bring it here because as teachers, when you look at the horse understands its environment. The horse has a flight or a fight mentality, all right? Now, the reason why I love using the horse and I would like us to cultivate a horse characteristic is that the horse has a fight or a flight mentality. In other words, in addition to the fact that the horse has a 360 vision, it knows what is happening in front, it knows what is happening behind and at the sides. Environment, as a teacher, you need to understand the environment you are in. Like I just said, there is a rise of digitalization. There's a rise of having both soft skills and hard skills. There's a rise of technical competence as well as conceptual competence. When you look at the skills you need to cultivate as a leader, sorry, as a teacher, you realize that you need not just only communication skills, you need your diagnostic skills as well. You need your critical thinking skills, you need your cognitive skills, research analysis skills. You need to know that. So when we speak of environment, what environment do you find yourself in as a teacher? Do you know the environment? Do you know the challenges faced in that environment? Do you know the challenges you are facing in your life as well? Now, you need to know, you need to understand an experience you have and decide whether that experience needs you to move away, that is flight, or that experience needs you to confront your confrontation. You don't need to waste your time on a fight you don't need to fight. So the horse mentality is knowing your strength, knowing your capacity, your capabilities. You know when to talk and you know when to keep quiet. You know when to fight, you know when to just flee. And when we speak of flee, it's not weakness. You are being wise. But you see, the thing about the horse is when the horse knows it has to fight, it gathers all its strength to fight. So in a state of disruption that we find ourselves in, new technologies, new ideologies, innovations, compelling the teacher to know, you have to ask yourself, do you have the necessary skills for that and the competencies? Coming to the eagle, the thing about the eagle is eagles don't feast on dead things. The difference between the eagle and the vulture is that the vulture waits for the dead thing to be dead before it eats. The eagle never feeds on dead things. As a teacher, to have the characteristic of an eagle, you're saying number one, you are always new when it comes to information. You're always having new insights. You're always having innovation at your tips. You're always looking for ways to make that daunting subject interesting. You become unpredictable in the classroom. Is that not beautiful? Your teachers, your students, your children cannot decipher you. You come to class with an innovation. That is what it means to be an eagle as a teacher. The eagle has a very good foresight eyes. And the eagle prepares itself before it goes hunting. All right. The eagle prepares itself before it goes hunting. You need to prepare for class, not waiting for the eve of the classroom, but prepare ahead, prepare the subject, be learning, unlearning, relearning, repeat the process again. So with the horse, you have a foresight. You know whether to fight or you know whether to flee. With the eagle, you have a strategy. You have the opportunity to prepare. You are always new in your development, in your personality. You always take time to retreat. The eagle is able to live for 70 years minimum because a time comes, it goes into a cave, removes its feathers, dash its beak on a rock so that it cracks the claws also and allows itself to grow again. You need to take time to regrow because when you regrow, you glow. You need to take time to sit down and ask yourself on that gloomy situation, that situation that caused you, maybe you went through a disappointment, a heartbreak. You need to allow yourself to assimilate the pain and release the pain as well, so that you don't go hurting somebody who did not hurt you, most especially the children, all right, or the students. So the eagle gives you the opportunity to recreate yourself, rejuvenate yourself, rebring yourself and make yourself alive, to be alive, to live life to the fullness. My favorite animal, the lion. The lion is fantastic because the lion fights to the teeth, to fight to the death. Lions don't just give up. Whatever it is, even the horse, sorry, even if it's the elephant that is going to kill the lion, even if it's the bull, the rhino that is confronting the lion, and the lion knows it's going to be killed, the lion will still fight to the end. The lion characteristics gives you that opportunity to be persistent. Look, life is not always going to give you what you want. Life is going to throw at you lemons. You need to know how to make a juice out of the lemon and sell it. Not just making juice out of lemons. Life will throw you lemons. Make a juice out of the lemon and sell it. In fact, you can now cultivate the what's the word? Not only the seed, you can even look at the skin of the lemon and use it as a medicine. That's entrepreneurial thinking. So when we speak of the lion nature, yes, leadership comes to mind, strategy comes to mind, but the most important thing is that that aspect of your life that you just don't give up. You may bend, but you don't break. I'll repeat it again. You may bend, but you don't break. Look, people don't know. When I start telling my story, people find it hard to believe, but I can assure you, I've had my moments of weakness. I've had my moments when I feel like just throwing the towel, but I don't throw the towel because it's like when I throw the towel, God throws the towel back at me and says, "We are not done yet." So it's not that I have it all, no. But that lion nature gives you the mindset that you just don't take no for an answer. In fact, when you see no, instead of saying no, you say next opportunity. So authenticity is being true to what you are capable of accomplishing when you have a challenge and what you're not capable, knowing yourself, knowing what you can do well and what you cannot do, what you can take. So being authentic as a leader is having that mindset that I'm going to be true to myself. I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to be vulnerable. It's not about showing your weaknesses, but you're going to be in a way that you're approachable as a teacher. You're acceptable as a teacher. You're authentic as a teacher. People can know, come to you to give them solutions. All right. People can come to you and say that, all right, with this person, even if you don't know the answer, you can say, please, honestly, I don't know the answer, but give me a few moments to check it out, to get back. So you see, we are teachers. Destinies of children are in our hands. They are with us most of the time. Let's acknowledge the truth in this matter. The children we are teaching, the youth we are teaching, spend most of the time with us. Some of us, we should make use of our LinkedIn page and our Facebook page so that whoever is watching can find reason to come and study, can find reason to get to know you, to be able also to face their challenges. And we should be able to be in that position whereby we know that we are giving back to society. And this profession, I think at this point I can confidently say this: whether you came in made or you came in born, you are teaching. So just teach and strive to be excellent. Finally, I think the last statement or the last slide, then I'll be through with my wonderful session is this image. Let's keep going forward, people. Let's keep going forward. Let's keep the banner, not just of 1 million teachers, because yes, being a member of 1 million teachers is not just fantastic, it's phantasmagoric. You have the opportunity to learn and learn new insights, but let's keep the beacon, the fire of being a teacher, because we are the profession that makes the other profession. So be proud of being a teacher. Thank you very much again for coming, and thank you, Madam Fatima, for giving me this opportunity. And my able phantasmagoric prince. I finish.
I'm laughing here.
Why are you laughing?
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
You talked about fake it until you make it, and also who am I?
Yeah.
So my question is, if I use fake it until I make it in a context where, let's say I want to eliminate someone, because faking it until you make it like creating a visionary. Let's say I want to be like Elon Musk, and I start behaving the way he behaves and all that. Is that a bad context?
You see, when you look at Elon Musk, do you know that he spends not less than 100 hours a week? So when you want to be like him, have you asked yourself if you have the strength and the capacity to go and be like him?
Yes, for example, if I say if he sleeps 4 hours a day, that is what I start doing. Like I want to be exactly like also to make, let's say, what he has, and I start taking it. Or if I want to buy a given car and I see how maybe you are behaving, let's say you have a Mercedes Benz and how you behave, and I start emulating the same thing and also working towards it, because I can't be like you, but I'm just taking it until it becomes there.
I'm glad you said something that is very wonderful. You said you can't be like me. Now, when you raise your hand like this, all right, you raise your hand, all right, you raise your hand. Can you pick up an object with only one hand? You need two hands. Society's situation needs everybody, not just one person. Now, if you want to use your life, say you want to be like Vanessa Sesi, you are wasting your time. There's something beautiful about you. You want to be like Elon Musk. Do you know that you if you discover who you really are, you find that you are something worth being. Yes, you can learn the person's resilience. You can learn the person's um desire to know new things. But permit me to say this, don't desire to be like the person. No. You know why? You're wasting your time. The shadow is never the real thing. Is the shadow the real thing? I'm asking the
Yeah,
question. Is the shadow
yeah,
the
yeah.
real
You
thing?
no,
The shadow is not the real thing. So when you say you want to be like somebody, you are not the person. You are being the person's shadow. That's not the real thing. So desire
yeah,
to be yourself. All right. Now, what you can learn maybe is like you yourself said, the person's tenacity, the person's resolute, the person's mindset. You ask yourself. But then I asked I said a statement that Elon Musk sleeps 100 hours a week. Can you do that? You see, so don't try to be like the person when you don't have the strength to cultivate what it means to be like the person. And we get frustrated because we want to be like somebody, well, but we are someone, we are something ourselves. That's what it means to be authentically yourself. I hope I've made myself clear. I hope it's all right. Hmm?
yeah. It's all right. So this is just a request. If you
Pardon?
could just come through, just brush on About the bird, I had a network problem. We had the horse, bird, and also the lion. So the bird I didn't get basically.
We have the eagle, you mean? The eagle?
Yeah, the eagle.
The eagle. Yes, I said that the eagle is that we should not, the eagle has the nature of retreating to regroup, to the eagle prepares before it goes hunting. It makes sure its claws are well prepared to grab what it's going to grab. The eagle also has foresight. It notices what it's going to hunt. The eagle also goes into a retreat or takes a retreat, removes the feathers, removes the claws, and allows all the beaks to regrow. So the eagle mentality or the eagle characteristic is, as a teacher, know when to retreat, to regroup, to relearn, to unlearn, to learn, repeat. Ask yourself, what are your weak spots? Just give your time also the opportunity to rest. I'm using this thing rest because me myself, I need to rest. But you need to rest so that you can have your full strength to go back into the classroom. And that's the lesson from the eagle.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm wondering, Jimmy, are you asking a question? If you can, is it not possible to be like someone, but you can hone on the person's achievement and experiences to achieve your goals? You can make him a mentor. Mentorship is an opportunity for you to learn from your mentee, as well as your mentee learning from you. Mentorship is that's why it's mentors in a ship. You, the mentor, you have an experience, and the ship connotes the idea of maturity, not a canoe, but a ship based on experience. So when you come to mentorship, yes, there's a shared experience between the mentor and the mentee. You, the mentor, you are cultivating that mentoring capacity in your mentee. You're not making your mentee like you, but you're helping the mentee to discover who they are, their own jewel, their own hero or heroine within them. You are nourishing greatness in your mentee so that they discover what and who they are supposed to be. And you are just like the catalyst to helping them be who they are supposed to be. They can learn from you. They can be inspired by you. They can say to themselves, if you, as their mentor, can make it, then they themselves can make it. And you seeing the change that you have brought in the life of a mentee, you also learn from your mentee. Mentorship is not complete if you, the mentor, don't learn from your mentee. It's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. It's a lifelong process. So yes, you are finding yourself learning from each other. What I'm trying to avoid, you cannot be authentic if you are copying somebody. That's what I'm trying to reiterate subtly. We learn from people. We have people whose lifestyle inspire us, but try to discover your path because they discover their path and they're walking their path. So try to discover your path as well. All right? Okay. Anywhere. Oh, you were asked, is it not possible to be like somebody else? Personally, please, I don't waste time trying to be like somebody else. I have so much to give. So maybe you want to be like someone else. Choose your flavor, my darling. Choose your flavor. Choose your flavor. I want to be myself because oh boy, I got so much to give. Oh girl, I got so much to give. All right. And I always encourage people, don't try to be like me, please. You got so much greatness in you. The world needs your greatness. So please, so as far as I am concerned, I want to be myself and I want to, yes, I get inspired by others because they didn't give up. That's all. But like I said, I want to walk my path. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Any more questions? I'm happy for the interaction anyway.
Good evening, Vanessa.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. I loved that you told us that we have to discover ourselves and try to be the people we are. Try to appreciate who we are, and of course learn from maybe colleagues, but really, let's be who we should be, who we are.
Yes.
Let's know ourselves, and then we know. Anyway, like that. So, would you mind again giving us again the lessons we can learn from lion and the horse? I didn't get
Okay.
it. Eh?
Yeah, with the horse has a flight or fight mentality. Either it will flee from the situation or it will fight. With the horse, you should know what you can take. You should know whether this situation needs a confrontation in a good sense. Know whether you need to just keep quiet and not argue, or know whether you should handle this situation you are faced with. So with the horse mentality, the horse also understands its environment. The horse knows when the horse understands the environment. That's why they use horse for warfare. So you should be able to assimilate and appreciate the environment you find yourself in, discover the new innovations, etc. The lion projects the nature of a leader, even though horse and eagle have leadership mentality. The key concept of the lion, which I wanted us to keep, is the fact that the lion fights to the death, even if it knows it's going to die in that fight. Because when a lion confronts an elephant or a rhino, even sometimes a crocodile, it loses its life. All right. But that lion will continue to fight. That means you don't accept defeat. We may have, like Maya Angelou would say, we may have many defeats, but we are not defeated. There are days you don't feel like getting up, but you still get up, dress up, show up, and you keep going. So the lion gives that nature of never saying no. No means next opportunity. All right. I finished.
Thank you very much, Vanessa.
Yeah, on this note, I also want to say that you need to discover to recover, right? Always be in that state of discovering, because when you discover who you are, you're going to recover all the greatness and the goodness that you got to give to this world. Amen. Madam Fatima, aren't we going to stop? Are we not going to stop? We are going to continue today. We'll go.
Miss Fatima. Wow. The lioness is on a roll.
Anyway, I'm happy to see that Sanusi, my partner in Cote d'Ivoire, is here. At least I'm not alone.
Any more questions? Any more questions? Yeah, we see you, Sanusi. Well done.
Yeah. Please don't be jealous of Sanusi. I mean, now we did this country.
No, I'm not jealous. I am not.
I'm happy to be here, my people.
Well, it seems like there's no much question. Miss Fatima, over to you. Miss Fatima, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Miss Fatima.
I think we need to say it in the chat room. Oh, she's muted.
Oh. I feel maybe it's the network that is having some challenges. Well, I don't think there's any more questions from anyone. There's no questions in the chats room. Everybody just sharing the nuggets and the wisdom we have got. I think one of the takeout from this session is just the fact, be yourself.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Carve your own niche. Create your own path. Don't walk somebody's path.
Exactly.
You're not created to be a copycat. You're created to be an original. So when you stand out as an original, you make more impact. But when you copy someone, that means you're already, it's as if you're living that person's life. People no longer look at you, they see that person. So, but once you're original, they begin to see you, they begin to call your name. So as we go out from this session today, let's be original, let's be authentic. Let our students, let the environment, let the world begin to know us for what we can do, for who we are, and for what we carry within us. Because I tell you, every one of us here on this session is a potential, is a talent. But begin to discover who you really are. That question, who am I? Go back. Feast on those peace, passion, purpose. Really go back and ask yourself those questions and begin to do a journey of self-discovery.
Yeah.
1 million teachers opened my eyes, and this session has really opened my eyes to more things to go back and really discover about myself. So on this note, I feel Ms. Fatima is having some challenges with her audio, which is not working. So on behalf of Ms. Fatima, and we want to appreciate Ms. Vanessa Sesi for the wonderful session. We always look forward to having you. It's always a very wonderful session. And in fact, we have learned so much again, something new from the horse, the eagle, and the lion. The last time you took us in a session, we learned so many things about them. And this session, we've learned something new also about them. Thank you so much. And we pray for greater heights and greater exploits in all you do. So without further ado, I don't know, Ms. Fatima, if you can just put in the chat box if we should call it. Okay, the HP Mat 5 will be launching soon.
Yes.
The HP Mat 5 will be launching soon. Please, everybody, mentors, mentees, be on the lookout. Please continue, make sure you are following up your emails, follow us up on our social media handles. There are many of us that are on the various social medias and we don't follow information, and you now start asking people, have they started? Have they started? Please follow up so that you don't get to miss out. That is just it. I don't know, Ms. Fatima, is there any other information? Okay, that is all for today. I wish you all a wonderful evening, a wonderful time. Good night from here, and God bless everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Well done, Miss Phil. Well done.
Thank you, Sanisi.